Hello again. And so now we are going to be discussing policy and programs. So I personally believe that education is a political act from the beginning. And I'm talking about the beginning, like the beginning of education in the United States. You can do your own research on this, but check it out. Thomas Jefferson, tried to provide public education to all the children of the colony. Um, and we're talking already a very homogeneous group of people at the time. And he encountered, I believe he took it to Congress 3 times, um, and 3 times he was rejected. And there are documents that recorded, documents, written documents with the transcripts of what was said in the meetings and minutes, what we would call today meeting minutes. And, there will be some of the representatives telling Jefferson, the gentleman from the Commonwealth of Virginia, he believes that it will be in the best interest of the colonies to educate everybody. Well, and I question, who will reap our harvest? Who will collect our harvest? Who will clean our houses? Straight out. It was not a secret. It was not, it was covert. It was pretty overt. It was pretty open in the air. That if we educate everybody, who's going to do the jobs that you don't need an education for? And this is not about race or anything. This is just social class and privileges and access to goods and things. So now you move that to educating immigrant children, and that that becomes a whole new topic. And so, back in the days, it was all assimilation. Back in the days, not that long ago, 40, 50 years ago. Assimilation, acculturation, just get in, learn the way. We did that to the Native Americans in the Americanization schools. And we did that to every immigrant that ever came to the United States. And then in California, in San Francisco, Lau, challenged the sink or swim mentality. They come in, if you survive and you learn the skills and the language, good for you. If you don't, we have jobs for you. And thanks to that law, then sink or swim is illegal. It's basically illegal in the United States. So the court says that all children, regardless of origin and language or culture, heritage, regardless of anything, all children deserve a meaningful educational experience that they can connect to. Teaching somebody in English that doesn't speak English doesn't make any sense because they won't understand. So, but that's how we teach. It doesn't make any sense also to just have schools in multiple languages because we don't have the people trained for that. Some people do. Some people have bilingual schools and Russian schools. In Denver, we have great programs for a Russian school and Cantonese school, and we have Spanish bilingual schools. Most of us don't speak multiple languages and cannot teach in the native language of our immigrant students. So we need to teach in English, but that doesn't mean sink or swim. So we need to provide support. That's when the whole bilingual education issue comes to place. That's when it gets really political because English is part of the fabric of the nation. A lot of people consider English to be part of what it means to be American, to be from the United States. There's no legislation at the federal level. Some states do have English as an official language, and they have passed legislation to avoid other languages in the public school system and not to reject support, transitional support. We'll support you in your home language, in your L1, as long as we're transitioning you soon into the L2 so you can join the main group. Researchers discuss and argue about how long it takes for somebody to acquire academic language. Sometimes we confuse that with social language. We see some of the kids watching American TV and talking to Americans speaking English decently, and yet they don't perform in the classroom. And then we consider that a cognitive disability, yet it may just be a language issue because we're not differentiating between social language and academic language. Multiple issues that you need to add the whole political spectrum to it. What it means to be American. Why, if you're here as a guest, as an immigrant, you need to learn our language, our culture, our way of being. Then they have the whole salad thing, the whole pot thing, the American, we are a melting pot nation and we accept our cultures, and how is that embedded in the curriculum? How is it accepted? It's touchy. It's so political and people get so passionate about it that conversations and discussions are almost always impossible because people just feel offended and they're affected personally, when talking about immigration, documented and undocumented. But from what you need to understand is that education is regulated at the legal level, and particularly language education and the education of immigrant children. That has been an issue that has been legally debated for decades. And then you can read about some of the different bilingual programs and types of supports and what people believe to be the best support, and the goals that you're going to obtain by providing that support to your immigrant children. Whether the end goal is assimilation into mainstream American culture or maintaining a sense of belonging to their home culture or language because that enriches us all as a country. Debatable, very debatable, and very opinionated and incredibly passionate. And we're talking about belonging and nation building and culture and heritage, and that's about who we are. So everybody takes it personally. So it's difficult to discuss it objectively and without bringing a high level of emotional subjectivity to the discussion. Anyway, so looking forward to seeing you in the discussions again. Adios.